Welcome, friends. We're getting started. We're in the final days. I may do the tournament arc offline.
Which part is that?
There's the tournament back in the capital city of Inferia, the one that I immediately lost. You remember that? Only Reed can do it, so it's a solo Reed thing.
Gotcha. What about the cooking? You gotta do the cooking.
Oh, we do have to finish the cooking. That's right. I mean, we might be able to just do that now.
Sure. I just want to remind you.
It's a good reminder. Miyakas to our hearts. All right, so what we're really doing here is opening the final boss dungeon. Wow, we're lagging so badly right now, Connor.
General lag problem right now.
Yeah, you just disconnected. Yep.
Okay, I'll join back in. No problem.
I'll hold off because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a big giant explosion movie.
These folks, the Paul.
I think this is where we get the Aya birds. Ironic that you have to go to the final dungeon of the game in order to get one of the most necessary pieces of equipment. Ready to fire.
Necessary in what sense?
It allows you to fly.
Hmm.
So you can land in places you couldn't otherwise land. Alright, no need to go through this dialogue. It's all just people repeatedly saying the word Graymill Cannon.
Very good.
It's the Aurora. It's the sacred arts. The divine Aurora.
Amazing.
And then we're gonna fringe it with our cannon. And now we've opened the portal to Vatenkeist and Chazelle's castle. This is a world where mass has no meaning and form is meaningless.
So it's Nereid's world?
It's Nereid. Well, technically everything's Nereid's world.
Sure, I guess we exist inside Nereid's world.
Yeah.
But we're breaking that barrier. Wait, what is that?
What is that?
What is that?
Something new has appeared. It looks strange. Yep. We're skipping through all this. We're just going to see the castle. Come on, guys, show us the castle. Here we go.
Give us the goods.
Yes. This is what the castle of the Dark Gods looks like. A pink shrimp. That's Vatenkeist in the background. All right, head up the stairs to the left. Examine the load crystal. So this is the inside. I have a feeling what we're seeing isn't real. Are you saying this is an illusion? A world without substance. Vatenkeist. Right. In other words, it's a manifestation of Chazelle's imagination. Let's go. Let's go. Notice how they trick you into not using the load crystal, huh?
Yep.
Got it anyway.
Sleight of hand there.
Alright, just follow linear path. 3 screens. Get the Mystic Sword. One. I don't know how tough this is going to be, Connor, so good luck.
Yep, we'll find out. Whoa!
Rising Phoenix!
Burning Phoenix! I'm coming back, don't worry.
Omega Seal! Omega Seal!
Phew, they were tough.
Not too bad. Let me check out my...
Your character literally says, "Phew, I'm too tough," and you go, not too bad.
Yeah. Whoops, sorry. Okay. Fatal Fury. L2. Okay. Good. Thank you.
Sorry, I took a bite of my bagel during that.
Please do. Please keep yourself carbohydrated.
You're probably the only person that said that in all of history. What's this called? The Mystic Sword?
Oh. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Please luck when you have damage. Right? Am I right?
We'll see. What makes me worried that it has an elemental type.
Yeah. That's always a cause for concern.
Because the other sword has either no elemental type or every elemental type.
Rising Phoenix.
This is really bad today, Connor.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. That's why I tried turning off and on my Cintiq, or on and off my Cintiq, and I thought that would help. Because I turned it off purposefully today ahead of time. Because that actually is, I think, what causes some problems.
That was close.
At least it did last time. But this is very difficult. I wasn't sure if you were getting the skips as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point it was literally just like every other frame was being lagged out. Okay, just use the elevator below and choose to go up. The middle thing? Did I miss something? Oh, let's do it indeed. My favorite part about these particular skills, about Burning Phoenix and Quasi Seal and such, is that they aren't ever mentioned anywhere in any documentation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing like 2,000 damage a hit right now. I wonder if it's because this is a water sword versus fire types.
Yep. It could be it.
Omega Seal.
Sorry, I'm juggling him using
Try
Omega
turning
Seal.
off. And on the controller.
It's over.
You need me to pause for a second?
Nope, you're good. I'm trying to do it without interrupting the flow. Probably not.
We can pause if you need to.
No, we're good.
Go down. Oh, this is the elevator. I see. I missed context clues.
Let's do it. Omega Seal. Rising Phoenix.
I'm getting destroyed.
Sorry, I'm coming. Nice.
I like that I brought them with me this time. Maybe it's because they're floating. They got carried along by the force. Ooh, I need... Paralyzed is pretty bad. We basically avoided having it happen the entire game. Go up. You will see 4 chests. You need Mumbane, Luck Bag, Demon Seal, and Mithril Mesh. Oh, and then we get the Dark Sphere. Good. Okay, that's what we're really here for, is the Dark Sphere.
Mumbane, Demon Seal, Luck Bag.
Alright.
All sound pretty good.
Okay, so that's somebody's. That's for chat. Mumbane is probably for me. XP earned is double, but its curse can cause abnormalities. I don't know about that. That sounds bad.
Yeah, it's not really worth it. Because why do you even want one character to be super leveled up anyway? Nice.
Okay, you've already got a Mithril Mesh, which means this goes on you,
Good.
Priesty Girl. We had the
There's a
bag.
luck bag.
That's a big jump for her, but technically that level of attack is something we had like 6 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Not very good. All right. Go up 2 screens to get the dark sphere. Good, 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 good.
Let's do it. Omega Seal.
Gee,
Meteor Swarm. Omega Seal.
Ooh, Connor, we may have to cancel for today. This is
Yeah,
just...
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Hey, look, if we stop playing this and we just spend 2 hours hanging out talking while you make some art... Oh, Chaos Shield. What's that? That sounds good.
I don't
Is
know
that something
what it
I
is.
get?
Let me just try and...
My luck drops
some progress.
even more. Jeez. I'll take it. The Galaxy Stone. Give it to me, the Dark Stone. Uh,
Let's do it. Rising Phoenix.
Yeah, Fatal Fury is pretty
Omega
good
Seal.
for the combo.
Yes.
For sure.
Indignation.
Twin Palm Strike.
We're not gonna lose so easily.
Hoping if we can get outside, we'll get back to the part of the game where we just do A-bird stuff and side quests for the rest. How are things going with you? You know, with
Very good.
there's I'm getting so many messages from Charlie about
Rising Phoenix.
Galadriel.
Rising
So many messages. Yeah, Galarian. Sorry, I went with the other elf warrior.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you know, we don't mind that comparison.
Swarm.
It was just a distracted slip of the tongue. I know the character. Although again, I don't even consider them a main character from the main series, because that's
No problem.
Orphy guy and Elfie girl, and occasionally some of their friends, and sometimes her dad, who is like, "That's right, I disapprove."
He do be like that. Yeah, we're very happy with the campaign. It's going great. I've been working on the pages, as well as some I had some coverage commissions this week I had to work on, and then I'm gonna have some more next week. I've had a lot of covers like lately, and I've been like basically after these like next few, I'm filling out in the covers because I focus on pages again. They
Omega Demon Chaos.
Oh, we're advancing together because we're both using a unstoppable combo. Interesting.
Interesting.
That's the power of friendship. Oh, you're so far behind where you
I
need to
know.
be to attack. That's the problem with a lot of Ferris skills, that once you commit to them, there's no stopping.
Well, there's also that, but then the frame issues.
Oh yeah, for
Quite
sure.
strong.
For sure. We're so
Closing
close to
various
escaping. We're so close to escaping.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I mean, I'm good existing, as long as like we don't need my contributions quite so much.
Okay, we're
I'm-
out. We're out. Okay. And Nereid's Labyrinth should be somewhere around here, but we can't do that until we play New Game Plus, which we won't do unless I
Let's
can.
drop box.
secretly get it to work. Wait, I don't want to go in here. I want to go in here. All right. I don't remember which side you have to be on to put this in. I guess let's just try the side that we're on. It's the inverse dome, and then you go to conversion dock. Is that right? All right, Connor, we're about to do some cool shit.
We're good. Possible Steam was updating something. And hopefully that will help. The Airbird dot iBird.
Welcome to the power of flight, Connor.
Wow.
We're unbound by gravity, and we're super duper fast. All right,
Nice.
we're gonna go to the cooking place, pick up ingredients, and I guess while we're here, we might as well do the cooking quests. I don't remember if we can put down, actually. Can we? Can we land? Yes, we can land. All right, I'm opening a second copy of the guide so that I can do the cooking thing correctly
Excellent.
without losing my place. Gambard. Hmm. Okay, let's see here. Hampard, you need a snow tomato, which you can only get in one place of the game. Okay, so we can't actually do the cooking thing now, but we do need to pick up food while we're here, including 15 Karima fruit.
Mm.
Uncle Roger is upset at me because I fucked up by coming here, but also I didn't fuck up by coming here.
It's absolutely necessary.
Uncle Roger. Alright. Go back to the first thing. Make sure you have 15 Karimas. Fly east of Inferia City to 208-108. So that's probably southwest of here. Just... I don't really have a map open. Just kind of eyeballing it in my brain. Which has been wrong before. I don't know if you know this, audience, but my brain has been wrong before.
Dapper.
No, we're literally One step away. How could you do this game? All right, well, oh no, I'm gonna have to use...
Stuff to kill lots of people.
They're surviving pretty long against us, honestly.
Supersonic fit.
Wouldn't have expected that,
Supersonic fit.
but it's over.
Did we get him?
My equipment looks ridiculous now, I'll be honest with you. I wonder if we can get SD. We can control how high we're flying. I don't know why we would never fly anywhere but super high. All right, so we're going 208, 108. So that's going to be over here. Is that here? No, it's a little bit past, right? 208. Enter the round forest. Oh, it's in here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's a place you could only get to by flying, of course. How very Final Fantasy VIII of us. Okay. Oh, I fucked up. Connor, I fucked up.
Don't worry, I've been messing up this whole time.
The Kramel Hot Springs. A gift from the Water and Fire Kramels. Here's everything from backaches to colds to bedwetting. Some of those I can believe. Others I think don't have a... Is this a human? How did you even get here? Are we splitting the party? So Chad is here, but not Max. Interesting. I think I'll pass. I'll wait here. Free to go inside and enjoy yourself. Mind your own business. Okay. Oh, I fucked up. I missed a bunch of lenses on the way in here. Iafrid's monument. Saw it while I was in the dressing room. Beats me, so what should we do? I would like to see it. Of course. Now remember, this is in the boys' bathroom. Don't worry, there's nobody in there. All right. Connor, I'm worried right now. I don't remember this part. And for sure, Japan has very different ideas. Have you paid? Yeah, we paid for the entire group earlier. That's right. I apologize. See, look. They're trying to make humor out of a little girl being in the men's dressing room. And that makes me concerned because there really is only one way to get humor out of that. I learned a special skill of pirates. And here it comes.
Whoops.
He's chonked out, though. Look how big his torso is compared to the rest of his body.
Right.
It's from having to carry the entire both worlds with his scientific genius.
Mm-hmm. It's a real workout.
Okay, we got Parabol. Oh boy. Oh boy. You might be wondering, why are we doing this twice?
Probably for a different scene.
Those are the 15 Karimas we bought. Why would we need dried peels, Connor? I didn't even remember we needed this, but the game knows that we need it.
Dried peels? I guess like for some kind of scented experience.
We're gonna have to go buy those Karimas again. All right, whoa, hold on. Okay, so I thought it. I'm upset. I'm upset with myself, but also with the game.
What?
Okay. There it is.
There you
All
go.
right, then there's more inside.
Mm-hmm.
Left of the counter. Supposed to be in here. Okay, let's see here. Examine the mirror near the brush. Oh, up here. I didn't think that was a mirror, but I guess that's what it is. Okay. Oh, Connor.
Mm-hmm.
You know how long it's been since we've gone home for real?
I think the last episode we were back at the home.
Yeah, but that was an imaginary home formed in our minds,
Oh.
right?
I
We
mean, I'm
did
home
briefly go to the area near our home, the like sacred temple,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know that we actually went back home. But anyway, even if we did go, I was trying to start a story for dramatic effect.
Okay.
Apparently I fucked up though. Our effect is much less dramatic, and now it makes me just want to sing Who Said You Can't Go Home. But here we go. We are in fact going home.
Very good.
Wow. Incredible.
I'll have to admit, I'm also a little distracted. I'm trying to like suppress this frame issue. I've done like 4 things since while we've been doing this scene. So
That's okay. Listen, it might be time for you to like draw for a little bit.
no.
Let's see here. Da. Let's go to this guy. I think he's up around here. And he should be outside at this guy. Remember this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I don't have them. We have to go get firewood bugs at Nostos Cave. Where the fuck is Nostos Cave?
Where is that?
So, this is the first quest you get in the entire game, is making back medicine alcohol for the Elder. And you can only get it by going to the last dungeon, finding the secret chest, and leaving and coming back.
Perfect. This is the primo 90s JRPG gameplay I expect.
Tales of Destiny 2 map. Let me load it up, looking for Nostos Cave. Which one are we on? Inferia? Area map. Okay, let's go. Nostos Cave. Okay. It's that cave where the bugbear attacked us. Sorry, the egg bear. And then we became the egg bear when we were learning empathy. Reed really not only going through the hero's journey, but the anti-incel journey. He literally has a bunch of wise old men and actual gods sitting down and going, bro, empathy is a skill and you really need to learn it. God, I read some shit about incels today, and they have like a specific cult-like language. I could not fucking comprehend it. They have created for themselves some sort of weird jargon.
I mean, that's any. I feel like that's a lot of internet cultures, right? Where you sort of like craft like I don't know. In games, it's like Kek or Normie or I don't know.
Maybe, but like those are easy to understand. Maybe not Keck, but you know, if you played LOL for 10 seconds, you would understand Keck.
Rising Phoenix.
Fatal Fury.
It's more. I'm sure that whatever
Swarm.
is jarring about it is not the words themselves, but like the meanings and like the entangled, like, you know, several steps of logic from where you are.
Oh yeah, there's definitely steps of
Jumps.
logic from me.
Yeah.
I mean, I have
That's
steps
where
of
it
logic from normal people, so
gets- Yeah, right. Yeah.
these people, whole nother level. All right, here we go. I think that it's faster to get to the campsite. This keeps happening. Nope. I think the faster to get to the campsite from this side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because here it is.
Campsite, huh? Okay.
We're looking for firewood bugs.
So how do we get there? Are they in a chest? Like,
I don't
in a
know.
Chest or what?
I don't know, Connor. I don't know.
It could be a drop.
Let's do it. Omega Seal.
Nope, I just ran right past him.
I'm literally using a skill created to kill gods to take out clams or something.
Well, I gotta get those numbers up.
I mean, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
There we go. Firewood. Give me those firewood bugs. Why is this not happening?
Are you sure you
Okay.
don't already have it?
You know, we talked to the guy and he told me some shit, brother.
I agree, but what if
Yes.
what if there was some other item that we also needed, or like to do something with the firebugs before giving it to him?
Search the firewood at the camp point in Nostos Cave. Oh, it's at the camp point. All right, that's actually further down.
Okay. Wow, you remember that?
Yeah, it's right here.
There's the fire.
No, we need. No, I said no. I said. There we go.
There we go.
You literally had to do that and say no in order for this to happen.
Wow.
That's why I didn't do it last time.
Yeah.
Because we constantly use the camp.
Let's do it. Rising Phoenix.
Wow.
You can't beat me.
Okay then.
Connor, you can't beat me.
It's funny there was no combo counter because there literally was no combo.
That's because I killed him in one hit.
One, two enemies, one hit. Yeah. I guess it would have been one. Should have been one. It's not a combo.
Like how one isn't technically a prime number. Actually. Hold on. I keep overshooting the target wildly. Wow. So it's gonna be like this today, huh?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's one of them days. So you're checking out the language for maybe crafting a new villain or something like that, or what? Just out of curiosity.
Sorry, what?
So you were checking out this incel language or whatever out of curiosity? Or
No, I was just
crafting a new
looking at articles on.
villain?
I don't need help crafting villains, Connor.
Okay. Fair enough.
I need no additional assistance there. Actually, I feel like I do, but not in the way you're thinking. I have to tone it down lately, honestly.
Yeah.
It used to be if you wanted a good villain, all you needed was to have them hurt an animal in front of the public or in front of the players, or even just
Sure.
in front of the audience, and everyone would hate them. But now, if you do that, people think that you, the game master, are evil and not the villain.
Yeah.
If you don't include something like, this is going to sound bad, take it in the manner I intended, audience. If you don't include things like sexual assault in your game, then it really just comes down to things like political crimes, financial crimes, and murder. And I'll be honest, no one thinks murder is a problem anymore. It's not the sign of a villain. The heroes murder people usually all the time. You have to play a really specific game with a specific vibe for murder to be considered evil.
I mean, there's mass murder or there's indiscriminate murder. That's.
But heroes do that all the time. None of that is very surprising to an audience. That's a hard sell to say this guy killed. You have to say this guy killed someone important to us. Even if you say this guy killed the prime minister, people are like, well, that's like so far above us, it doesn't matter to us. If you want to get the players invested, you have to kill someone specific to them. You can't just be like, well, he's a really bad guy because he kills people. Because the answer for both the players and the... Connor, what if I told you during any tabletop RPG game we've ever played that the bad guy is bad because he killed someone? Anyone. Your characters killed dozens of people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
It's hard to say someone's evil. I mean, it's easy to say someone's evil because they've killed someone. You definitely need more context than that, but it's very easy to paint that brush to people. He killed someone, so he's bad. It's a lot harder to make it personal to an audience that, yes, they've killed someone, they're bad, and therefore they're worthy of death. I don't know. Anyway, so it's getting increasingly hard for me to write villains that people actually want to see. As I think, God, I hate to sound like a comedian, but audiences are getting more sensitive to this kind of thing. I don't necessarily know that the word sensitive is being taken the right way either. I mean that people have so much media at this point, they kind of know what they want. You know what I mean? Not just any old story will do. They want specific things, and everybody wants something different than everybody else.
Right. Yeah, in general, people are very media savvy. I like
nowadays, for sure. Saturated, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a word I like to use for a lot of things. In like what you're talking about, it's like audiences are, we consume so much that like we, like what you're saying is we know what we want, or we have an idea of where we want things to go and where we don't want things to go. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough out there being a media creator.
I mean, like one of the guys who founded Gainax, the anime company, just blew the fucking lid off of Gainax today and the anime industry by revealing how it is that no one makes any money. So when a project does well, right, and it makes a shit ton of money, you'd think the animators get paid more, but animators are increasingly being paid less and less. What they do is all of the different companies that form production committees have all collaborated to say, well, this is what we're going to pay people. So it's an industry-wide monopoly. They all agree to it. So when the production committee makes a shit ton of money, and just to explain anime real quick, animes are formed when a bunch of different companies come together and align themselves. And it wouldn't surprise you to learn that like toy companies and apparel companies will come together, obviously to make t-shirts and, like I'm going to say Transformers toys. You know what I'm talking about though, right? Like whenever you see an anime, there's almost always a fuck ton of merch. That's where most of the money is being made, is off of those things. And so it's a collection of companies that aren't technically owned by each other. They aren't under some sort of aegis except for this production committee for this specific anime. And when it does well, the production committee goes, well, rather than pay our people more or pay them a percentage, what we're going to do is we're going to make 3 more animes. And so at some point, you just have a shit ton of really bad, poorly animated animes that have increasingly come to rely on 3D CGI, CGI in general, just like people at their breaking point, desperate to get the next big keyframe out and make sure everything all runs on track. The industry is literally, the money people have collaborated to make it so that only the money people can benefit from animes.
Yeah.
And they're certainly not the only industry to do this. I mean, all right, I am going to finish this rant. Let's figure out what. But look at like Amazon, right? Like, or Jesus, Disney. Like, they release so many shows, and each of those shows has to have a prolific actor in it. No one takes risks like Band of Brothers anymore, which were a bunch of like B-listers no one had ever heard of who all launched their careers. As the only known actor in that whole series was Jimmy Fallon, who appeared as a guest star in 2 episodes or something like that. He was the only person anyone had ever fucking heard of, and they all went on to launch pretty good careers, essentially, after Band of Brothers.
I didn't even know Jimmy Fallon was in that movie.
He is a supply truck driver who shows up really briefly in at least 1, maybe 2 episodes. But the point is, no one takes risks like that anymore. You gotta have Batista, or you gotta have, you know, Pedro Pascal in your series, or no one will watch it. So now the shows are like not concentrated. They just have like 1 person or 2 people, you know, you know, like there are 10 million writers now, and they aren't like hyper concentrating their efforts. I guess I'm just explaining saturation to you, someone who already knows about it and just told me about it. But I am also talking to the audience here. Like, everything is fucking saturated. It's very difficult to make good stuff anymore because everybody's already committed to 10,000 other projects.
Yeah, I think, you know, speaking of saturation, you know, we talked about the audience is somewhat saturated with media, but then also on the business side, the language of and the process of the business has escalated or saturated itself to the point where like it's just bing bang bing. Like there's no kind of like, what are we creating here? What are we actually trying to create? Like apparently in the 90s, as far as I understand, Hollywood transitioned from a situation where studios mostly, or maybe it was like 88, 80s, something like that, just something around that period. Studios used to own the like sort of the production and the item that they were creating, and then at a certain point, the studios no longer own it. Instead, you have production companies, and so that also changed the nature of how movies were made in a way where like it is what you're talking about, where it's like, okay, let's get the actor, let's get the high budget, let's get the and let's not take any risks, let's not like sort of actually focus on a creative output. Let's like just make it something that people will watch and then consume and then move on to the next thing, or buy the items, buy the T-shirt, buy the thing, and then move on.
The DVD collection with director's commentary and extra special features. That's the big money here. All right. This guy, first side quest of the whole game, asks for back medicine. We finally deliver it. I think he might also be her grandfather. Was that mentioned at the beginning of the game? I don't really remember.
Someone's dad. Grandfather.
Let's just say we're even now. Be on your way. She gave him a very traditional Japanese bow of respect.
What we get?
It's the wind bell. I don't know if it's an item for you or anything. The guy doesn't say anything, but
maybe it's for the head or something. Maybe it's like a...
Let's look at new. That'll tell us. A bell crafted in machines. Wow, that... Yikes. Okay, didn't really tell us that much.
Yeah.
Okay. Before you leave...
you know, you use it, right? Maybe it's for a quest.
In here? I don't think so. House. Been playing
Yeah, I
Scrap
didn't quite
Mechanic.
realize that the anime was going in that direction, though, in particular.
Yes, it's
I don't
bad.
keep up with a lot of the animes.
They
So
make really shitty anime nowadays. There's very few good ones. All right, we're supposed to go
every
to
so
her.
often, though, like on Twitter, I'll see like some like absolute mind-blowing stuff. Someone shared with me, I guess they're remaking Trigun, and at least the little clip I saw, it did have 3D stuff, but it was pretty
Yeah,
impressive. It was
I
cool.
have actually heard good things.
And then I guess they're also making Lupin again. They look cool.
Right now, Eminence and Shadow is really hot. Trigun. I mean, the thing is, I don't want to go back to Trigun.
Yeah, me neither.
Trigun
I
happened.
wasn't, like, in love with Trigun.
Double Dollars was really funny, but that's it. Like I'm done. I don't need to live that life a second time.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking the first time. All the like weird villains and the mind control shit and like Nicholas dying, and that might have been a spoiler for anyone that's not like
yeah.
40 years
It's
old.
been so long. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about it. That's why I did. It wasn't an anime I like loved or whatever.
We need
Like,
to
I really
go.
liked Outlaw Star, like Berserk.
Oh man,
I got
Outlaw
my
Star.
own.
Outlaw Star is a rough rewatch, brother.
Is it?
I mean, look, 90% of Outlaw Star is really good, and then you get to the part with Fred, and that's the hard rewatch because Fred is, he's a gay character at a time where being gay was not very well thought of in Japan, although I feel like that's not really taking a bold stance there, but he was also implied to be a pedophile, a gay pedophile. Like his gayness expresses itself through liking the young boy character, and that's rough. That's real rough. Watching any part with Fred, anytime Fred appears on the screen, I'm like, oh fuck, I want to stop watching. So I never finished my rewatch.
Did we get him?
Because after the race episode, Fred just starts showing up constantly. And again, it's not that he's gay, it's that he's a pedophile and he expresses that through being gay. He's going after like a 12-year-old boy who, I mean, again, that 12-year-old boy is also a space pirate who outrightly murders people.
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty mature for his age.
Yeah, that doesn't make it better.
It does make it better now. Yeah.
I mean, just to be clear, the boy is a bad guy. Gene Starwin's companion. He's a bad guy. I mean, Gene is not the good guy of the story. Melfina is the good guy of the story. And maybe to some extent, Jim, as an innocent young man drawn into this insane web of space piracy and magic. Okay, we're at Undini Stream. Just south of here is oh, we didn't need to come in here. We need to go to an enclosed section in the mountains. All right. Space combat in Outlaw Star was incredible. The inclusion of science magic as well, and like caster shells and the Taoist magic, all of that was really cool. But in the end, it's all brought together by this pretty well written story of like a young man without any motivation. He wants to go to space, but he can't handle it. He literally physiologically gets sick while he's in space, and by piloting this one ship, the Outlaw Star, it physically changes him so that he could be a better pilot. It literally rewrites his DNA or some shit like that so that he can pilot the ship, and as a result he starts to grow as a person instead of this basically worthless flirty dude.
Right. Selfish kind of guy.
He saves the universe. It also had solid waifu characters. I mean, obviously it was about Twilight Suzuka. You, I think, are probably an Aisha Clan fan.
I like them all, you know.
Yeah, but if you had to pick one who was the best, who would you pick?
Yeah, I'd probably pick Aisha.
See, everyone I talk to all says Aisha Clan, and I'm like, y'all have no taste, but that's okay. I get it. I get it, but y'all have no taste. Aisha Clan is F tier. All right, she's literally so fucking annoying. But even if she wasn't, it's rough trying to go up against Twilight Suzuka.
Yeah, I mean,
Easily the
Suzuka
best waifu of the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, that's you gotta wake up pretty early in the morning to get one past her. All right, go east and a bit south to Minch. It's like right here, right?
then of course there's a possibility that Outlaw Star influenced Firefly, right? At least that's what I've sort of like read a bit online.
I've never heard of that, but
yeah,
Joss Whedon is a weird dude. I say this as a weird dude, but Joss Whedon, he's a really weird dude.
Because it did come out like sometime before Firefly, and it's like,
yeah, I mean, it came out like 8 years before Firefly.
Sorry?
It came out like 8 years before Firefly. It's a considerable
enough time for it to like influence the TV production. Because like any TV production, you know, it's gotta be years. You know, it's years in the making. So you couldn't, if the two things came out, you know, concurrently, you wouldn't say like, oh, like, you know, he was influenced by Outlaw Star. But
this is the wrong place.
It is a possibility.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So much has come out about Joss Whedon being a weird shitlord. Where is Minch? Isn't it a university town? Did it tell us to go east when it wanted us to actually go west? I thought Minch was back over here. No, that's the tree. Keep following it back. Oh, I think it wanted us to fly around the world to get the Minch. You know, that probably that's the observatory, and this should be the Minch, the city. I think they may have been right that flying east would be the faster way to get here, even though it's not intuitive. Yep. Okay, let's see here. Enter and go right 2 screens to the port. Door. Okay. There are 2 sailors and a student on the left. Speak to him and he offers you something for 10,000 gold. Crib sheet. He just made us steal test answers. Head to Inferia City. Okay, so that's gonna be back to the east. You know, this game is a real throwback to the pre-World of Warcraft MMO days when there were no quest markers or even knowledge that you had started a quest. It reminds me of Final Fantasy XI, a game which both horrifies me and was glorious in its time. You could start a quest. I think like the Paladin quest to become a Paladin was absolutely fucking horrific. Like you had to go to a random place in some random cave, and only through context clues could you ever have any idea that you were anywhere close to the right area. Oh, it's raising my blood pressure just thinking about it. Boy, that was that people would delete quest information on forums. They were like, no, figure it out yourself. Oh god,
yeah,
what a
have mixed
time.
feelings about that. Like as an adult with less time,
Yeah, you just want to play the game.
I want I want to be railroaded much more than I used to be, but there's definitely something lost in you know, having quest pointers everywhere for sure.
This is not an insult, Connor. What I'm about to say, it's an observation as someone who's been your dungeon master several times. What? He's laughing before I've even gotten any. I haven't opened my mouth yet. Go ahead. Go ahead, laugh, Connor. Laugh. You have no idea what I'm about to say.
I have some clue, possibly.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
Oh, well, you just go ahead.
No, I want to know what you think I'm gonna say. I think it'll tell me a lot about what you think I think of you.
I think in general you're gonna suggest that, you know, I do need a fair bit of direction.
That is true. I was gonna say that you are somewhat indecisive.
Yeah.
And you like it when somebody else is making the choices. You're an not an execution person. You're a bit more of you'll follow somebody else's lead.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Okay.
where I'm definitely more comfortable when it comes to, you know, an RPG scenario. Especially because I feel like I'm still new to the experience. Maybe not though. Maybe it's just my.
You've been on multiple non-award-winning shows. All right, we're in Princess Arende's room. Go up the stairs to the right. Speak with the princess. Jesus. If you defeat Chazelle, I will give you a metallic choker in place of the one you have now. The gift. Okay. The king has fallen ill. Examine the
it's
shelf.
difficult to sort of like play a leader character, and then at the same time, you know, you want to get everyone's like reach consensus like as players, you know, like everyone I want you know, as a player, I want everyone to be happy with what we're doing. So you know, there's that balance.
Sure. Golden choker. Yet I don't know anything about it. Okay. Now we go to Celestia.
I think I played one time I guested on Zonolar's game as an evil character, and that was actually much easier because I was just like independently deciding what I was doing, what I was saying, and in that regard, it was freeing. It was liberating to play the evil character.
I mean, you know, when you're guessing as an NPC, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that you're probably going to end up dying to the players.
Yeah.
Your options are much more limited, and some people find that to be refreshing.
Yeah. Sure.
Listen, I shit talk a lot of things. Notice I'm not shit talking this. I have now discovered a slight problem. I don't remember where we parked our boat. We have to go back there. Oh, it's probably close. I probably left it very close to the entrance here, the entrance to this world, and we have to go back. So I'll just go back there, and I'll start a spiral search from there, the most efficient search pattern.
I mean, you probably left the boat wherever we started getting these spaceships, these flying ships.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be somewhere in the middle of here, right? Or am I on the wrong side? Here it is.
Perfect.
Oh, I can summon the boat to us. Even better. Perfection. Oh yeah, we can go look at the Aya birds on the inside and our new empty rooms.
Very nice.
We need several million gold in order to fully finish this off.
Yeah.
That might be some real new game plus level. There is technically a way to cheat the new game plus. I don't know if we can pull it off with how we're doing this though. Oh, we were there. We were in the Aya birds.
They're a lot smaller than I would have anticipated.
That there's an island to the south of Moral that's inaccessible by ship because it's surrounded by cliffs. But maybe we can fly in from above. So you press the statue and you can get in the Aya birds. Okay, and then back here, we've got the rooms. These are the two new empty rooms, I think. Nope. That's wrong. Okay. And back up. Now, see, it looks different outside now because we've got the additional armor. We're like the Liger from Zoids. That's a reference almost nobody's gonna get.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you're talking.
Don't worry about it, dude. Zoids, back in the day, Big Cloud and Zoids was incredible, but it is I guess it's technically an anime. I've always considered it a bit more of a cartoon, and it's pure nostalgia. I have definitely not watched it since it was syndicated on television or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
probably on a rewatch, it's not that good, but people basically created Zoids, which are usually animals, mostly mythical or dinosaur level animal robots that have some partial transforming capability. So like the bad guys had velociraptors whose tails would extend to become sniper rifles. So they were like quick stealth snipers that would take a shot at you and then undo their tail back into its curve formation and quickly run to a new location to snipe you again, sort of thing. The main character had essentially eventually it became a flying tiger, but it's called a liger, a lion tiger. And it was special because it had modular armor series, so you could attach specific armors to it. So you like had to enter into matches and you'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna enter my liger, right? But this guy was different than everybody else because he would enter on a match and then he'd be like, well, technically I'm still using only my liger, but I will equip a new set of armor onto its shoulders. So there was like the heavy liger with the rocket launchers and the super thick armor, and then there's the fast liger which gets extended claws, and then there's the flying liger in order to ambush enemies from above, sort of deal, right? So every week they would need to figure out what they were about to go up against and either acquire a new form of armor from like a junkyard or a scrapyard somewhere, or deal with it very cleverly with the armor that they currently have. It was dope, Connor. Just believe me in that. When I was a kid, it was dope, and probably it's not as good now, but it was awesome when I was a kid.
The series came out in 2001, or is that like a second version?
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Okay. Yeah, it looks good. You know, there's a Switch game.
I doubt it's very good, my friend. There's a lot of games for Switch that are not great. If I haven't heard of it, it's probably not good. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna take a bold stance. Head northeast to reach the town of Luishka. Is that over here? Is that the ruined town?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. Head 2 screens up to the house after the wooden bridge. Okay, ruined village, Luishka. They say the house after the ruined bridge, but this is literally, it's just Merity's house. It's specific, guys. Don't call it the house after the wooden bridge. Enter to straight to the room you saw earlier in the 3rd Safer trials with Chazelle. Okay, examine the cat doll on the right twice. Isn't this one of the 7 treasures of Celestia? Doesn't look like it's worth anything. Notice you have to talk to it twice to take it with you. So annoying. This is the Dark Souls of video games. How did I know I'd have to talk to him when he says ... 3 times in order to advance the quest? Head southwest to Chat's hut and enter. Hey man, FromSoft is making a new Armored Core game.
I know. That looks awesome.
It's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Armored Core is like real fucked up too.
I never played the old series, but it does look really good.
Oh my god. So all right, I'm gonna pause this for a sec while I tell you a story about some real fucked up shit. So you know Armored Core it started on PlayStation, and I think it went as far as PlayStation 3. So in the first game, on top of all of the weird shit that happened, in the background of the game, there's this unusual corporation that's secretly doing human experimentation. And how this takes place is if you start losing missions and you lose enough money that you end up deeply negative, unable to go any further in the game, you'll have to restart from the beginning. So you'll keep all of the parts that you currently have, but you'll essentially get your money slate wiped clean. You follow me so far? It's like a soft reset. So, you know, you could take advantage of that in order to harvest more parts and such, etc., etc. And I think you had to reach like negative 50,000. You had to be, I wouldn't say pretty bad, but it turns out that after that happened to you 5 times, you would be kidnapped and human experimentation would be done on you in order to make you a better fighter, which would unlock special options you wouldn't otherwise get, which technically were the best in the game. So what I'm talking about is after a certain amount of time, they would start doing experimentations on you that would allow you to, and this is the big one, when you slash your sword, it would do the anime style sword beam that would allow you to send a wave of sword energy out at people.
Excellent.
That was just one of like the 5 things that could happen. So technically, you needed to die 25 times and continuously be revived and worked on by this corporation to get the additional options. But Armored Core 1 allowed you to upload your save data to the next Armored Core game in line. And each Armored Core game did the same thing. Even, I think the PlayStation 2 one, if you had a PlayStation 1 memory card plugged into it, it would allow you to bring your save data from the past forward. And I believe you kept those options as you went forward. So you could get some real fucked up shit going on in the future games. All right, well, that's my Armored Core story. Armored Core is really incredible, and my favorite character is Count Ones, who I've referenced several times in my Battletech shows. He's a guy who, in the Armored Core Arena game, I think it's 2, or it's just called Arena, he's good enough to be in the top 10, but he's so obsessed with the number 1 that he takes spot 11 because it has 2 ones in it. Yes, he just loves ones that much. I could have mentioned any number of people from Armored Core Arena, but Count Ones was always my favorite because he's clearly super fucked up. Just absolute mad lad. All right, we're heading southwest to Chatsut.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty light affair for what I'd say is a FromSoft game. As far as like human experimentation goes, it's not so bad, and you get something for it.
All right, so there's this like pawn snake that's secretly trying to trick you into burning forever so that the world won't end.
Yeah. Well, also, you have. I mean, you have the element of the world actually gets easier as you die, which is much better than Demon Souls, where it actually just gets harder.
Head downstairs, enter the door there. This door? We're going to the picture. Examine the picture at the end of the room. Then move the vase to the left of it.
Nice.
Okay. Enter the Van Eltia to the left of the twisty path. In the first screen of the Van Eltia, examine the large roll of carpet. Oh, is it this a large roll of carpet? Yes. Okay, we've got the deck brush. It's a cleaning tool. Of course it's dirty. One of the 7 treasures of Celestia, the mighty brush. Yes, that's right, Connor. The mighty brush.
It was right under our noses. The Windsor 7.
Did seem a little peculiar that this brush would come so carefully wrapped and stored. Yeah, of course we're gonna take it. Head out and use the Eye of Birds to reach Tinsia. Right? Recall the Eye of Birds. There we go. We remotely piloted them back here. Technology is great. Northeast. Make your way to the Shaleska hideout. Donate more money. Great. I love spending all of our money on Max. We have spent truly enormous piles of money on this man. To be up
In
here.
this game, you spend a lot of money.
Just like real life.
I mean, I don't know. Just the nature of the way you spend money in this game is kind of unique.
Yeah, okay. I'll buy that.
Like, you often pay, like, serious amounts of money for, like, semi-useless or
Truly trivial item, but
like, truly
that's the thing.
trivial items.
We're about to get to the part of the game where all of those items start having payoffs.
Okay.
You literally have to do truly absurd shit in order to gather the 7 treasures of Celestia. And stuff like that. Or like get the Max's final weapon or whatever that we're about to get.
Yeah. Like in Suikoden.
Look, we did it! We didn't even need to give him more money, but now we are going to give him more money. Yeah, obviously we're going to give him more money.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Wait, more? More?
Yep.
Wow. Like in another game, you might spend lots of money on your weapons, but there's a sort of a discrete increase in your capacity from that. But there's a lot of like faith-based spending here. Like, yeah, sure, I'll just donate lots of money to you, and I won't get any immediate reward for a long time.
We need to trigger a new event. So we've already paid enough now. We need to trigger the next event.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Photon Ray. For now, head down from this screen and reach Max's room. You'll get an option to remove Max from the party. Do it. Oh, I should have said yes to that, but I said no. Yes. Why would you ever remove Max from your party, you might ask?
Seriously.
I gave you a hint to it last episode. Go to Cape Fortress, east of here. Are you the other person that's a Star Citizen fan?
Yes.
I told you about my plan
I was
one
literally
day.
thinking about how you said you were considering that.
I am
last week.
considering it.
And
Yeah.
I like had to hold myself back. I was gonna tell you I was excited about you possibly playing, and I was like, you know what? I won't. I'm gonna hold back on saying that.
Again, it's not going to be anytime soon. It'll be when the next Star Citizen Fest is, and you can get the free ships or whatever. But
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
Try it out for free first.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
they do all these free flies. You also just want to see if like it'll run like complete garbage on your computer. So.
I mean, I have a 2070. It should be fine. The city. Are you painting the sea again? Yes. It's so beautiful here at dusk. The surface of the entire sea takes on a brilliant madder red hue. I see it again. I might be fooled into thinking I was in love again, just like before. Deep affection and love resemble each other, even though they are completely different. Are they? When you get married someday, you'll know what I mean. Okay, we've moved forward the part with Lesitia. Now go to Loishka. Okay, we gotta start chasing this painter around the world. You know how it is with goddamn artists, Connor. It's always so difficult to get them on the phone. They're always going places in order to get inspiration, whatever that means.
Whatever that means. Just chain them to their desk.
Yeah, of course. They always keep talking about starving artists and how the suffering makes the art better. I got some suffering for you.
I got some shades. Got a pencil.
Oh,
Let's go.
I just thought of something, but know that it's completely unrelated to what we were just talking about. Completely unrelated. I don't want you to make a link between these two things. Okay? It's just we were talking about art and I suddenly remembered something important. I posted a link to someone else's Twitch channel in general chat a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Using the framework of the Count Ronald Swan art you were making for me.
Okay.
My VTuber artist has started taking that to turn it into a workable thingy.
Oh no! Oh, already?
What do you mean
It's
already?
Like ready. Well,
It was, you know, it was like they were like, "What's your inspiration?" I was like, "Here, my other dude is working on a more complete. This is just a prototype. It'll be ready when he's ready, but this is kind of what Count Ronald Swan looks like." And she's like, "All right, I'll work with this."
Interesting. I mean, like, I didn't even think those assets were high resolution enough.
Again, she's not using that to become a model. She's using that to inspire her drawing a model before she rigs it.
Oh, I see.
She's doing the full thing. She's making a new model using that as like the guide, the inspiration.
Oh, okay.
You're inspiring her, which means now you're my grandfather.
You're right. Yeah.
In VTuber terms, you're my grandfather.
In VTuber terms.
In VTuber terms. Dads are the artists, moms are the riggers. Or it might be the other way around. You're my grandmother. Mothers are the artists. Yeah, I think mothers are the artists and dads are the riggers. See, I don't know enough about this. We're just going to have to go contact Lawson because he knows it. But either way, you're one of my grandparents now. And look, for one thing, I would love for you to finish that art one day. I realize it might not be anytime soon because I have the money set aside to pay you for it. And I love, first off, I love art and I love paying for it. It's insane. All right, here we are. Cape Fortress, talk to Listia. We went to Luishka, go to the wooden bridge, talk to her twice, and then leave. Great. Are you painting the ruins? I still can't believe this is Luishka. It's changed so much since the last time I saw it. You come here before? Not just Luishka. I've traveled the world with another person. That was more than 10 years ago. You and another, traveling and sketching the scenery around the world. He was a surveyor. It was always his dream to make the map of Celestia. The reason I started painting in earnest is because he encouraged me. Heartbreaking scenery, but it is one I must paint. All right, now we hit her repeating NPC dialogue, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. See, Connor, while we had all those connection issues at the beginning, this is going to be a lot of running around, doing side quests and stories.
Yeah. Luckily, at least, I think it seems to have dissipated.
I agree.
One of the 200 things I was doing solved the problem.
It's probably the Steam update, I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, that was only 16 megabytes, so I can't imagine it was that entire thing.
Yeah, but the thing is,
the
it's
battery again.
It's not just the megabytes. Steam updates have a huge effect on your hard drive.
Yeah.
Finally head to Ginny. Goes southwest of here to 66,152. So we're going the wrong direction. 66,152 is going to be this way. Probably this
Yeah, I'll
thing right
start putting
here.
some dents into that because
You don't need to put. Well, I'm telling you, you don't need to put tents into it.
no. But that's my strategy. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time every day, try and like move it along.
I guess I'm not asking you to do that. All I'm asking you to do is maybe check out that video to see what your work's being worked on.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I will check out that video. I didn't see that. In the general?
Yes. Okay. You have to enter at night. I think we're here at night. Go to the inn. I don't know which one of these is the inn. Jesus. How am I supposed to know that? There's no signs here either. Suited 10. No. Okay, Boomer. Oh, this is the end? Oh, we have a scene as soon as we enter, and somebody comes up behind us. Oh, and pushes us out of the way. What the heck is this? Boss, did you find any good prospects? Are we ever gonna find new recruits? With only 3 of us, how can we call ourselves a freedom army? Huh? Well, you see. Listen, why don't we venture into new territories? You know, broaden our horizons and recruit diverse personnel. If we did that, we'd be an indomitable freedom army. Teleska would be nothing compared to us. Our day in the sun is not far. The Dark Panther, John. The Dark Rose, Millie. And the Dark Dragon Kid, Grid. I think these guys are a reference to an earlier Tales game. The Dark Wings.
I mean, I played the previous one. I don't recognize it, but it has been years.
Go to the right screen. Talk to Letitia. Is she in here? Somebody in here. It's not Lestitia. This? That's definitely nothing. Okay. Go to the right screen. Does it mean go this way? Oh, yep, here she is. You're still traveling the world? The Nightscape of Genie completed my sketchbook. You finished? So what are you going to do with your sketchbook now? I can finally make my offering to the sea, where my childhood friend rests in peace. And then I'll return home to my husband, to the man I've loved from the moment I first met him. It was a long detour, but now we can finally begin our life as husband and wife. If you ever run into the Shaleska leader, could you give this to him? And tell him that his long-lost wife will be home soon. The Shaleska leader? That's Max! Can you imagine doing this quest without any guide?
Yes.
Randomly going to Cape Fortress, coming to Ginny at night. You have to do them all in order.
What I can imagine is not doing it,
Yes, exactly.
which is how many quests of this day were
I mean, I feel like it was done like this to encourage people to buy the official game guide. You remember those things?
Oh yeah, the Prima.
Yeah, I don't know that they do that anymore.
They do.
They do?
Still see it. I think it's more like an art book now. It looks like.
Yeah, I mean,
ubiquity
nowadays
of
you
online
could just go to
guides.
GameFAQs and get all the information you need.
But back then, you could also do that.
I mean, not everyone had internet access in the 90s and even the early 2000s. It was nowhere near as prolific. It wasn't as well known. I'm not saying you couldn't do it, but it was much more difficult.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, we had internet, but
Instead, you got things where between schools, people would transfer and spread the word of you could get Mew in the back of the truck in Pokemon. All right, go to Shaleska. Talk to him to join him. You need to donate 320 gold to get his final weapon. All right, he has to be in your party to do it.
okay.
And just in case you ever wanted to try Max again, him with Canceller is the best. It's incredible. It lets you combo all his moves together. He becomes very powerful.
I've been having fun lately with
Farah,
so
yeah, sure.
I might at some point.
You might dip. You might dip on Farah. You
I
might
think once
step
we
out
get,
on her.
All of Max's stuff, I'll try it out again.
That's about to be right now.
It's about to happen, yeah.
It's about to happen. We're
All right,
we're doing it right now. We're doing it right now. All right, we've got Max in the party. We need him to have Canceller, which I think is a item. There we go. Canceller. Okay, 320,000 gold. And again. Remember, I guess they say just keep donating until you get it.
It's saying give us some time.
We don't even have 200,000 gold. How is this happening? Oh, it's 20,000 each. Jesus, we're gonna be here for so long. Oh my God. Here we go, Connor. All right, we need 5 to do 100,000. We need 15, 6. Yep, there we go. A mega launcher.
That's not bad.
All right.
Mega launcher.
Now he's got his full use. All right, we still need him in the party, but not in the party. Oh boy, just keep donating. Go back to Ginny at night. Go learn the final skill, Elemental Master. It allows Max to combo with his skills. Yes, I believe now what it is that Max can use each of his skills in order. As one ends, you can use the next one immediately. And thus he can fire off a chain of blasts. Like a Super Saiyan. Either way, we'll just have all of his good shit.
Yeah.
I think that it's totally necessary because when you go into Nereid's Labyrinth in the New Game Plus content, you don't get to choose which character you are. You get a random character on each floor.
Oh.
So you want to make sure everybody has their full skills and abilities unless you want to get rocked horribly. Even chat has to be used. All right, we're going to just hold on out here until nighttime. Time for more stories. What can I complain about next? Those damn artists.
They do be slow sometimes. What were you gonna say about Star Citizen?
I saw videos about it that made me interested in playing it.
Yeah, 318 is looking real good.
I don't know what that means, but people are saying it's at the best it's ever been. So
yeah, 318. So the game comes in patches, And,
Yes. Like every game.
2018 is basically the next step, and it has a lot of new features. Mainly, I think it's regarding like salvage, and then inventory, and then trading, and there's PvP, and yeah, just like
I did see the salvage. People were very interested in that. But what I'm interested in is a dude took a transport that has some sort of roof cargo hatch and stuck a tank on it, and then used the tank on the cargo hatch as his weapon.
Yep, you can do that.
That just seemed amazing. I think that we must have missed some of Max's other skills, which is why it's not appearing here.
What's not appearing where?
There should be a Miyakis that shows up to teach us
The skills. Got it.
Wow and Genie go. We have to go farm a shit ton of money at some point in order to do the next part in Genie, because we just spent so much. Such an incredible amount of money. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, there's a lot of emergent gameplay stuff that can happen in Star Citizen. It's pretty crazy from what I see online. I haven't actually like played it in the last year, so I don't really know what you can do, but it looks cool.
Miyakis, max skills. Here we go. We have.
Oh, Max isn't in the party anymore.
Yeah, that might be what we need. But we're also missing Rage Laser. Okay, Max must be in your party after Seifert Observatory, Miyakis in Cape Fortress. Okay, so strategy, formation, switch, Verity, and Max. I wonder if we can make it appear by going in, then out, then going back over. But I think we have to learn them in order. Yeah, no extra scene played. So I think we got to go to Cape Fortress first.
Okay.
Regular snow, regular snow. Think Cape Fortress is over here? Maybe? Nope. Up here. I knew it was on a coastline of some kind. I guess they wouldn't call it Cape Fortress otherwise. Really hard getting these things to stop where you want them to. They slide for quite a while afterwards. Okay, there's a Miyakis here. Oh, there it is. Yep. Oh, we even saw it when we were here earlier. I remember that. The Courier of Fortune, Miyakis, has something in its mouth. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's fine.
No, the thing I really wanted to catch and never let go is my wife. You know, that thing. What could it possibly be other than that thing? You know that? Huh? I feel like there's a wave of power surging through me. All right, let's go. We're going back to Genie at night one more time. Actually, not the last time at all. It's not going to be the last time. Might be the last time today, but... Oh.
Wow.
Well, now we got Max helping us, so that's that.
Let's do it.
Yeah!
Phoenix! Rising Phoenix!
That was close.
Are the frame rate drops happening again?
Yep. Yeah. I didn't want to say anything, Connor, because I knew it was your fault. I didn't want you to feel bad. But I knew you knew I knew.
Okay. I don't know. It was
It's
so
interesting
smooth
that
for
it
like an
happens
hour.
during the battle stream, but not like out here. I wonder if it is. Oh well, there was one, but it's nowhere
Yeah, no,
near
they
as
happen.
bad.
They happen otherwise, but they get worse during the battles.
Oh, it's. You know what? I started talking shit and it got really bad.
Yeah.
After it not being particularly bad at any point, then it got really bad. I'm gonna make sure to save shortly, just to make sure that we don't lose anything of value.
It's possible you're downloading something. You got something.
I
going on in the
guess that
background.
is possible. Let me take a look. There could be a Windows update or something. It doesn't look like it.
Mhm. Or a Steam thing, or
No,
like 4 programs.
I'm sorry, Connor. It doesn't appear to be me. I know you'd like it to be, but
I mean, it's the first time, like in our entire time playing together, that I've ever considered that it could be you, but
it's not, and you know that.
not anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's smooth.
We could traceably prove that it was you because you solved it every time.
Yes.
I guess technically under that logic, we haven't proven it's you yet, but I believe history will bear out. It's a you problem.
It's a me problem. Yeah,
That's fine. We're not doing intense boss battles today.
it's true.
Today is the Eye of Birds. Okay. Ah, there we go. We finally triggered it.
Nice.
Pink Miakis. Looks, Mac. It's the Courier of Fortune, Pink Miakis. Yeah, I'm not letting it get away this time.
I mean, what do they even mean by Courier of Fortune?
I mean, it clearly continues. Connor, it travels the world. First off, this thing has crossed oceans in the time we've known it to. It is a tiny dog. It's a fucking purse dog. They don't have a shipping service on this continent. We've met 2 people with boats. We met the captain who wants to do a race with you in the port town, and the Shaleskan Liberation Army. Shipping is not a big concern here. How does this Miakis get everywhere across the world, following train lines, flying through the air?
I sort of thought I had some wings.
It's a dog cat. It doesn't have wings. It finally feels my love. A woman we met here asked us to take a message to the leader of Shaleska.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Who could the woman be?
Keel just comes in from off camera. Hey guys, I was out gambling. I've got a system. The Courier of Fortune, Miakis, is just a superstition, as there are differences in hair color among people. The density of pigments contained in animal fur affect... Fucking disappeared, bro. It disappeared. Connor asked, what is the god of fortune, the Courier of Fortune? He didn't understand. It's a real god, and it was trying to get 2 lovers back together. The whole side quest was about getting their marriage back on track after 10 years, Connor. 10 years these 2 have been flirting with each other and never making it back together again. They've been doing the Indian subcontinent almost kiss for their entire lives.
Wait, but I thought his wife was gone. Are we talking about his wife, or are we talking about his assistant?
That was his... Okay, you remember that painter?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
his
that was
wife. That's his
I
wife.
get that.
If you'll recall, he's been looking for his wife for 10 years. She disappeared the day they got married.
Right.
She's been working through some deep emotional trauma involving her childhood friend by painting about them.
I see.
You can only find her if Max isn't in your party because she's trying to avoid him.
Right.
All right. Let me explain what's going to happen next. We need to make a shit ton of money so that we can get all of the rest of the treasures of Celestia in Ginny. And we're going to do that next time because, you know, we're not in the best connective shape today. And also we don't have that much time. I felt like maybe we could spend the last bit of time talking about what game we want to play next. You've put forward Vandal Hearts, and I'm 100% down with that. If that's what you want to do, we can definitely do it. I've offered several other options to you as well, but again, if you are set on introducing me to the world of Vandal Hearts so that I can get my ass beaten live on stream in front of people, that's where we're going to go.
I mean, you're a tactical RPG player. I think you'd be just fine.
I have beat Iron Man, Commander, XCOM 2, and the Long War versions of both of those. But admittedly, that was like 8 years ago. I was a much younger guy. I had a lot more patience. And XCOM 2 was only Gatekeeper. I had full 4-hour sessions that were just redoing Gatekeeper over and over again. Gatecrasher, which is the first mission. Because if anything went wrong during that, your whole playthrough is over.
Right. You know, I looked at the Pokemon thing, and you know, if I was gonna play Pokemon, I'd like to play it first time, sort of just like a regular playthrough, rather than.
You don't want to do a Nuzlocke or a Soul Link Nuzlocke.
It seems a little crazy to me.
So that's the thing. I've never done a Nuzlocke, but they are considered to be expert level challenges. The thing about normal Pokemon games is that they're made for children. They're not challenging. The gyms are essentially meant to teach you how elemental typings match up so that when you beat the Elite Four at the end of the game, you understand how to match moves against them, right? Yeah. If you go to an electric gym with water Pokemon, you're gonna get hurt. You're probably gonna lose and die, right?
Yeah.
By the time you're 36 and playing a Pokemon game, you've already done that matchup dozens of times. Oh, I forgot to get Merity back. That's not the best.
Fatal Fury.
I don't know that Max's AI knows how to use Canceller. Anyway, I was actually... Wow, we made a lot of XP. Yeah, your connection's not bad right now. Might be worth just farming it up here. Yeah, I mean, most people do Nuzlocks of games they've already beat. And that Nuzlocke Soul Link that I sent you, they played that on super hard mode because they randomized all Pokemon. So, like, what Pokemon you got in your first Pokeball and what Pokemon could appear at any moment were all completely random. So, if you went to a gym, the gym leader would just have random Pokemon, right? And it wasn't just that the Pokemon would be random. Gym leaders typically have one or more Pokemon that are much better than normal. They have the hidden values, like IVs and EVs, that are higher than normal. They'll have moves that would be unusual but not impossible for the Pokemon to get, that make that particular Pokemon stronger than normal, or they'll have I'm explaining extremely in-depth, high-end Pokemon terminology to you. So the point is that a normal Nuzlocke is going to be much more difficult than an average Pokemon game.
Yeah. I feel you.
Most of the time when I'm playing Pokemon, I want to feel friendship. I want to get Eevees together, and you know, I'm just looking to meet the personalities around the world. The game is not hard. Nuzlocke is extremely difficult. You know.
Which does mean that it is age appropriate for us, you know, in the
could be.
Like, you know, if it's literally, normal Pokemon games are made for 8-year-olds or something. We are not.
They're made for people who are quite young.
Yeah.
Nice Fatal Fury. Nice. 17 hits. Oh, you followed up with this nice Chi here.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this. I honestly haven't been paying much attention to your gameplay because I've been burning Phoenixing the whole night. The whole day, sorry. Just burning Phoenix over and over. All right, so Vandal Hearts is on the table. I didn't know if any of my other options interested you. People keep talking about us playing Final Fantasy Tactics, but I've beat Final Fantasy Tactics at least twice. I would love for the Final Fantasy Tactics rumored remake to come out soon. You know, they resecured the IP earlier last year.
Yeah.
You know, they got the new website for it. It definitely sounds like they're going to do, you know, like Tactics 2 or a re-release. I'm deeply excited for that. It's even the other Tactics games that have come out, like A2 and such, are not as good as the original.
No.
The original is really something special.
Yeah.
So I could replay it. I'd have a lot of fun, but it is something I have technically done before more than once.
Yeah, I've done it like I've replayed the game or replayed like the first half especially like at least like 6 or 7 times.
The soundtrack is so good.
It's so good. Yeah, I mean it's a great game.
And then the drum beat starts and you're like, oh man, this is so real right now.
I would say if, you know, yeah, I'd say let's wait till the remake if it's gonna happen. Just because like it is well-trodden ground. What were the other options?
I don't quite remember right now. I think one option would definitely be that Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes. Again, not out yet, and who knows when it'll actually be out.
Yeah,
but
who knows? Yeah.
Let's do it.
it's not a co-op game either, but it would be.
Dragoon, I think.
Oh, you mean Legend of the Dragoon?
Yeah.
That's on the table. I've never beat it.
Yeah, I never played it either, so.
I've played it, haven't beat it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I might have played it too. But like,
I played it with my first girlfriend.
oh, we got some nostalgia vibes here. Some memories. Memories unlocked. Hopefully, anyway.
Yeah, it was fine. Her dad was a really strict Catholic and he hated me, absolutely, but he was a nice... Can I say kid? I mean, we were kids. Can I say she was a nice kid? I don't know about that terminology. Let's assume that's right.
Kid, like for like a 24-year-old man sometimes, you know?
Well, yeah, but I mean, that is someone who's considerably younger than you, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't think that's weird.
I'm just saying, yeah, the word itself, I mean, it can apply to a range.
Nothing personal, kid.
Nothing personal, kid.
Teleports behind you.
I mean, that sounds interesting. I haven't played that. There's also, you know, one game that it seems impossibly difficult that I tried to get into, but seemed difficult was Valkyrie Chronicles, I think it's called.
On
the SNES.
Oh, I don't know what
like
that
a
is.
game that you would enjoy.
We might be talking about different games. I thought Valkyrie Chronicles was the game on. It's definitely not for SNES.
I'm saying
It's like a weird form of mixed combat where you move people around on a strategic layer and.
I'll get you the real name in a second. Oh, I think it's called Valkyrie Profile.
Okay, that's different than Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah, sorry.
One is a World War II tank waifu game, and Valkyrie Profile is something very different. I actually don't know much about it.
Yeah, I don't know much about it either. I tried it. It was very complicated. It seems like the kind of game you would enjoy, possibly, but
we could always do, if we're going as far back as SNES, we could do Metal Marines. I feel like you would have nothing to do during that game except to commentate on how much I'm sucking. Burning Phoenix!
Well, honestly, most of these games are single player anyway.
Yes. I mean, that's the point, though, right?
Yeah.
You'll be helping me with guides while also drawing. Or not telling me how army combats work in the middle of sweet coding.
I love that.
I didn't love it, Connor.
Not save either right beforehand.
The combat in the game got so easy right up until I faced the vampire guy, whose name was basically, I'm a vampire, but not really.
There's also the option of the new game that came out.
Octopath Traveler?
Yeah, Octopath
You're
Traveler.
too late for that. I'm already like 8 hours into that game. I couldn't stop.
We're not gonna lose so easily.
I like it a lot. The voice actresses and some of the voice actors in it are really good. It's very familiar to Octopath Traveler 1 for me. They made, I think, good small changes in order to improve gameplay, but overall it's very similar to 1, which is a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
The primary gameplay mechanic of Octopath Traveler in terms of battling is that every enemy has a break bar that until it's broken you deal greatly reduced damage to them, and the break bar contains a number of question marks under it. Every weapon has a icon associated with it, as does every type of magic. And the break bars are formed in order from left to right in the same order. So it starts with like, this is not correct, but let's say it goes sword, spear, dagger, hammer, like that. So if you see, for instance, that let's say it's sword and then spear, if you hit it with a spear and the spear appears on the break bar, the number on the bar will lower from like 4 to 3, but you'll also know that there's only one icon that could possibly be further left than spear, and that's sword. So you know that sword is also a form of break bar. So you just keep hitting the enemy with the things it's weak to, and once that happens, they'll take full damage from any kind of attack for 1 turn, and they'll be stunned. And so bosses all have a mechanic where if they aren't broken in 1 turn, they basically perform, not, it won't always be a full party wipe, but it will be a devastatingly hard-hitting attack or huge status down associated with it. So learning what things to break the enemy with, like if you play the game with a guide, you ruin 90% of the gameplay. It's like most of it is about studying the enemy and then making a best case scenario guess as to what their breaks are, and then having the right party members, having a good spread of skills in order to, if you don't know what the breaks are, punish them quickly by figuring it out. Now, of course, what you could do is figure out what the breaks are, then when you die, you reload, and you get a party that manipulates that specific set of breaks. Which I guess is possible, but I try to go through the game without ever dying, you know?
Right. Yeah,
I wouldn't say
play it
specifically hard mode, but I try to win.
Yeah.
Rising Phoenix.
So most of the
that
game
sounds great
isn't
in the
the
sense that-
hardest difficulty that I've ever seen in a game, but after you've beaten everybody's stories, the difficulty, it's not even post-game, but in Octopath Traveler 1, the after everybody's dead thing was an enormously difficult boss rush where you had to fight every boss in the enemy in the game in order without resting.
Wow.
The bad guy, essentially the super bad guy who's behind all bad events, summons the dead ghosts of all of his minions, and you have to face everybody down in order.
Wow.
And that is considerably harder. That's the hardest fight in the game.
Yeah. But if you know the strategies, it's possible.
Correct. You will have already defeated all of them, but you'll only be able to use 4 of your 8 members, and you have to refight all of them in order without rest. It's tough. It's a tough one. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean the system in general, like we first described, where it's like the stakes of round 1 are you either get it right or you get it close to right or you die. You know, that's a great way of, you know, because I think typically RPGs of the olden times, you sort of like go for all attacks, or you just use your and you know, like no matter what's going to happen.
I see you've played
still get within
Pokemon.
The first 2 or 3 rounds, and it's fine. Sorry, go ahead.
It's the Pokemon problem, is that most Pokemon games are easy enough that you only need moves that deal damage, and you just go in and you throw hands, and that's how I've always played Pokemon.
Yeah.
But if you want to play competitive PvP Pokemon, or if you want to do a Nuzlocke, you have to make Pokemon that are strong enough that your one Pokemon can wipe the entire enemy team, because there'll come a moment where it's just that Pokemon standing alone.
Yeah.
And they will need to kill all 6 people. So you need to have Pokemon that are strong enough to do that anyway. So
They got a clutch.
keep going. Keep going with whatever you were saying. Wow, there's so much going on the screen right now. Yes, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll wipe out a whole fucking ton of them.
20
Yes.
or 30,000 damage.
I love that you did Fatal Fury and I immediately followed up with Burning Phoenix. Perfect. It did break our combo bar, but it was good. Holy Bliss is light fire. That sounds interesting. I want to know more. It's on the other one? Is that true? Am I crazy? Did I miss something? Holy Bliss. I'm not seeing it on either of them.
Holy Bliss? Right there.
Oh, right here. Okay, yes. Gradually regenerates HP and heals the last damage received. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. It's also not good. Oh, Connor, what can I say? What can I say? We're coming towards the end here. Any closing thoughts on this episode? Or any games you want to lock in? I think we asked the audience last time what games they wanted to see, and they've been totally silent. So, you know those damn audience. We can't rely on them.
You know, beyond the suggestions, I'd have to look a little more. You know, those were just top off my head. I was considering saying earlier that we could do a session of some kind where we load into a few options and to see what you like. Because I'm pretty open, and also I'm not the actual one playing it generally, so
I'm incredibly
you should
opinionated.
like the game. And so we could load into a few different things and just have a trial run of some kind.
You know me. If I don't like something, I'm gonna mope about it like Suikoden.
Exactly. So I don't want that.
I mean, Suikoden
it.
wasn't bad, but I just wasn't enjoying it as much as I could be.
Yeah, I don't know. Audience members, we have to might have to try and sell them on 2 someday, but probably not this time.
I told you that we could do 2. I'm down with it. You want to commit to that? You want to commit to 2?
No. I think it's too soon.
I've made you play this game that's like 60 hours. We're like 50 hours into this game.
It is a long game.
It's pure nostalgia for me. It's literally dripping into me, remembering doing couch co-op with people.
Yeah.
Me, a person who never goes anywhere.
Well, one day, you know, maybe.
They literally don't make Tales games like this anymore. They don't make any games like this. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's true. What I will say about Vandal Hearts is it moves along at a relatively quick clip, and every single mission has story, and there's no running around. It's very linear. You just gotta kill all the guys, you get your story, and like you could probably do 2 missions a session or maybe more, I don't know. And then you basically probably have it finished up, and like I'd say it's probably like a 20 or 30 hour game, so it's not that long. So that'd be my arguments for why Vandal Hearts could be fun.
Okay.
And also it's a tactics game that I know you like, so. But I'll look into the Dragoon game. I'll look into some other options. I'll consider.
Audience at home, we're hearing Vandal Hearts.
As well.
We're hearing Vandal Hearts. We're hearing what's this?
Legend of Dragoon?
No, the one you literally just said. The first game we played, the second game of it.
Oh, Suikoden 2.
Suikoden 2. How did I forget that? Literally seconds after you said it.
Look, I mean, if anyone's gonna understand brain farts or lack of being able to memory recall on words, it's me. So I understand.
Words aren't important. They're just how we communicate with other people.
Right. WAP. Any final words?
Feliz Navidad.
I'll take it.